following is a production of cprundown.com. The views and opinions expressed by the hosts of this podcast are those of the individual and not of any affiliated companies. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast covering the Six Flags Entertainment Corporation, the amusement industry, and everything to do with fun. Here are your hosts, Carson Anderson, Evan Schultz, and Kyle Hu.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast where we cover the Six Flags Entertainment Corporation, Cedar Point, and everything to do with fun. Boom. Let's just roll right into it.
Going on. Yeah, for sure. We've got a lot to talk about, and I'm sure everyone's like, oh, yay, we got another episode of the Rundown on Fun, because sometimes we're like, meh, we'll take a break.
Yeah, we actually did. Hold on, wait a minute. We did all three of us 2 weeks in a row.
Right. Yeah.
Incredible stuff.
It's like the first time we started recording, the first year or whatever.
Yeah. First time since episode 4.
Right. Anyway, yeah, so if anybody's got some really cool picks, we are featuring, or right now we're taking submissions to the CP Rundown 2026 calendar. If you want to hop onto our Facebook page, it's got all of the details and everything on that. Just no on-ride photography, and also no like group shots or selfie shots. I'm looking at you, this guy. I won't say his name, but we'll just say Brandon, but that's not his real name. But I'd be like, hey, Brandon, he sent me like 4 or 5 different shots of his family, like just hanging out at the front of the park.
Wait, are you being like serious? Somebody did that?
I did. Yeah. I don't know if it was like something funny or whatever, but I'm like, I can't use like great shots. They look really good. Like it's blurred in the background, family's in focus in the front. I'm like, that looks cool. But I'm like, I can't use that, man. I can't use that. Like,
I'm not laughing at you, buddy. I'm laughing with you. But
yeah. So I'm like,
I promise you, nobody wants your family hanging on their wall.
You know what? If for instance, like if Brandon is listening to this and it was a spoof or something, you know what? Send me an email or something, and you know what? I will literally do a one-off just for Brandon and do just his whole family on like January, February, March, and so on and so forth. Just, why not? And I'll be like, hey, look, you can look at your family every single year. I mean, it's kind of cool, but so
I promise you, I'm sure you have a wonderful family, but nobody wants your family hanging on their wall.
Speaking of families, so make sure you get those in before October 1st. Is the deadline, and
sorry, I gotta mute myself. I can't stop laughing.
and submit those photos that you've got, and then also really quick, Evan and I last Friday, we were actually at Cedar Point for our ride takeover for Top Thrill 2, and boy oh boy, did we get a lot of people. I think we had the most people that showed up to that ride takeover, like 16 people or something like that, and it was a little intense.
I had dreamed. When we told the grouper how many people were in our group, the guy looked like he was going to faint.
We were like 16, and he goes, wait, what?
Literally, 16? His eyes just went
wink. Yeah, it was like, wait, really? And we're like, yeah. And so they had to pull some people. But shout out to the ride ops and everything for being accommodating, and I know it was towards like the end of the night, but they were like, yeah, we can, all 16 of you guys can all ride it. So it was really cool I remember we were like about to launch and stuff. I'm like, CB Rundown, are you guys ready? And they're like, yeah. And then same thing on the spike tower and everything like that. I think I screamed something or whatever, and you could hear like everybody shouting and stuff. And then shout out really quick to the park. If anyone's got like an itch, and I know we're going to talk a little bit about HHN just in a little bit, but they've got some Halloween's quick little sneak peek things at the gift shop. You can go buy a nice brand new Halloween shirt or plushie or something with a few different designs and stuff and everything. I know there's one that like you can see Top Thrill in there with like the train and stuff and everything, and it looks really cool. I actually think I want to buy one of those because it looks really, really cool. You could see like I said, you could see like Top Thrill coming off the spike, and you could see like skeletons riding the train off the spike and stuff and everything. You could see like different coasters in the background too. But yeah, that's really cool too. But yeah,
I think merch for Halloween weekends. Like
they do. They really do. I'm curious, since obviously, Top Thrill's been running like an absolute champ this year. Shout out to the park and the maintenance crew and everything. I know that everyone's like, "Ugh." If anybody noticed anything on the group pages, like you see that there's not like Top Thrill, it's closing for the rest of eternity. Like it's finally like everyone's finally chilled out a little bit.
Well, there's one YouTube channel that is.
We're not mentioning that, but yeah. But yeah, so shout out to that. Was also really quick, that ride takeover. It was down for a little bit during the day, and it hasn't been down-ish for a long period of time, but that day it was down for a while, and I'm like, I'm like, we might have to move this ride. Sure enough, maintenance crew got it fixed, all ready to go.
It started testing when I walked in the park.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden I was like, boom. But I'm not trying to be that guy, but I will stand on this rock. I'm saying it now. Top Thrill 2 is definitely a lot more reliable, I'd say, than Top Thrill Dragster, because if we honestly were like, let's go make this Top Thrill Dragster, it would be like, well, yeah, we're gonna have to go ride Magnum or something else because it's down because the brake fin won't go down or something. So
yeah.
And super crazy quick shout out. This isn't our notes either. Shout out to Taylor Swift and the Swifties for getting engaged. And I made a little spoof on our Facebook page, and people kind of
got people really riled up for some reason.
Not really wild up, I guess, on the comments, but our inbox definitely got some fire underneath it, which was kind of crazy. It was all in good fun. We did one also for Cracker Barrel, that with their new logo and stuff, and did like a spoof of that and stuff and everything. But I think I put Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce in front of like the giant wheel or something in front of Cedar Point, and really? I think Cedar Point posted something like that too. But yeah, right. They're like, I hate Taylor Swift. Don't talk about that. But anyway, speaking of awesome, brand new, and this is why we waited until like last minute on Thursday. We were waiting for Kings Island to announce their brand new project for 2026. I know, Kyle, you were like foaming at the mouth, waiting for that announcement to drop, and we got all the news and everything. Kyle, you want to talk a little bit more about what we heard?
Yeah, I was very excited. We talked about this last week, about how excited I was about the possibility of this happening, and all of the rumor that we went with ended up coming true. So, Phantom Theater opening nightmare is coming to Kings Island in 2026.
Woohoo!
So I'll read the press release for you. The stage is set for guests to be ushered into a new but familiar chapter in Kings Island's history as Phantom Theater Opening Nightmare will make its debut next spring. Located at the site of the park's original Phantom Theater dark ride, the quirky characters and chaos from the original return, along with more modern technology, enhanced scenic elements, and expanded storytelling. The comedic and fast-paced family adventure begins with a dark and stormy night, setting the tone for the grand and ghostly reopening of the haunted Phantom Theater. Inside, a long-awaited performance by the maestro, the theater's resident organist, is set to begin. During the storm, a lightning strike unleashes the ghost notes, mischievous musical spirits that wreak havoc across the theater from the maestro's mighty pipe organ. With the help of the head usher, No Legs Larry, guests will take a role as a member of his team and ride in enchanted opera boxes, utilizing special spellbound flashlights to capture and return the ghost notes to the organ so the performance can begin on time. Along the way, the enchanted opera boxes travel through fully built dimensional scenes, including backstage areas, haunted hallways, dressing rooms, and a fiery boiler room as they meet other performers who are ready to take the stage. From animatronic forms of Houdini and the Great Garbanzo to Hilda Bovine and Lionel Barrymore, the Phantom Theater's beloved crew returns, getting caught in the chaos while guests simultaneously search for the ghost notes. New surprises await guests around every corner, including the introduction of Apogrigio? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce that. The maestro's furry feline friend. In total, 26 interactive scenes feature added multisensory effects like wind and sound, hidden Easter eggs throughout, and a grand onstage musical finale with all cast members manufactured by Sally Dark Rides, the leader of indoor family dark ride experiences. Phantom Theater Opening Nightmare is a true nod to the original that made its home at Kings Island from 1992 to 2002. Families who have visited Kings Island will remember how special the original Phantom Theater was, and they've always wanted it to return, said Tony Clark. That does not say Tony Clark.
I did the same thing when I was reading it.
Whoa. said Tony Coravillano, park manager of Kings Island. While paying homage to the original ride, Phantom Theater Opening Nightmare's modern and advanced features will help create new memories and stories for all who take their seat inside this amazing experience. Last chance to Boo Blast. Phantom Theater Opening Nightmare will be located in the same structure as Boo Blasters on Boo Hill. As preparation for the new ride begins immediately after Labor Day, guests will have until this Monday, September 1st, to take their final rides on Boo Blasters before Phantom Theater Opening Nightmare takes the stage in April of 2026. Guests are invited to keep up with the ride's construction progress and all the latest news on Kings Island's Facebook, Instagram, and X social media channels. And I'm not going to read the plug about passes.
Wow. I mean, obviously we got a little hint of that and stuff and everything. I mean, I want to hear your first thoughts, Kyle. What are you excited? Are you bummed that it sounds like it might be a shooter or
no? I'm super excited. Sally makes great products with their dark rides. So I'm really happy that it's like a Sally ride versus something like Triotech or something they're going to do in house.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited for that. It sounds really cool. Obviously, I don't have the emotional connection to the original. I never did it. I'm looking back at the dates, and I was definitely at the park when this was an attraction. So
wow,
maybe I did it and I just don't remember it. But I don't know. I don't have any emotional connection to the actual Phantom Theater itself. I just loved the show like 3 years ago, and now I'm super excited for the ride to come back.
Yeah, Evan, what is your thought?
It's better than I expected. I was pretty dead set, like very positive it was going to be Phantom Theater comes back, but as we know, the original Phantom Theater was just kind of like a Haunted Mansion style dark ride, right? You just sit down, you go through some scenes, and that's it. So to get all this new technology with the interactive shooting element, other than what are we doing? We're catching musical notes or something.
Yeah.
something like that. So to have that new tech, and it's going to be new technology. And Carson, you and I were saying before we went on air how we rode the, what was it? Ghost Blasters Sally Dark Ride at Niagara Falls. And that has the new tech in it, and the one at Carowinds does as well, and maybe some others. I don't know. And it works so well. So to get that new Sally Dark Ride tech, and there's going to be animatronics, and it just seems like they're doing more than they needed to. And believe me, I'm not complaining about that, and I'm very excited, very, very excited. I will ride this. This takes the sting from losing Boo Blasters away.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I mean, Boo Blasters, I feel like it was just like we lost like the IP and we need to like do something kind of thing with, because it was like
they just kind of let it die over the years.
It was like Scooby Doo, and then they were like, let's just.
The one thing I will miss is a lot of the Scooby Doo sound effects were still in Boo Blasters. There's one particular spot. It's when you go through like the more like big, like open like living room area, there's a target on the table at the end of that room. If you shoot it, it makes the Scooby-Doo running noise, like the like the skedaddle noise that he makes when he's trying to run, but he's moving so fast that his feet can't catch up or whatever.
I know.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about if they've watched
Yep.
Scooby-Doo. And it's so funny that it's like, oh my God, guys. So I will miss that, but
they did say there's going to be Easter eggs in this new one. So I'm curious to see if there's going to be any like Easter eggs that
if
for
I
like
hear a ghost say Rutrow, I'm going to lose it.
Rutrow, I'm excited because I feel like hopefully that queue area and that building and stuff will get like a facelift, because that was looking a little dusty and everything like that. So hopefully they redo some of that, maybe some AC, because I know when I went in there the last time when it was hot, it wasn't really cold in there, and maybe that needed some
you're just
replacing.
used to the air conditioning at Universal.
I know, right? Yeah, no, it's true. That's true. And also shout out to Kings Island for always going back to their roots. Like, I mean,
Yes.
they like years and years ago, people were clamoring and hoping and saying they really wanted the Kings Mills auto, the antique autos to come back.
Yeah.
And they came back, and obviously a different form, but they still came back. And that thing always has a crazy line. So them listening to their guests, and their guests have always said, especially Kyle, getting up on his soapbox saying, I want, Phantom Theater, like I want it, and it was cool to see Kyle light up, and it was cool to see what Phantom Theater kind of was in that play that we would, load the car up with, and we would drive all the way down south in 2022 or whatever it was, and we got to see, what it was, and I was like, you know what? I'm like, oh, this is cool. All right, yeah. And so now it's going to be like a dark ride again, which is really cool, and I'm sure that probably made a lot of people happy that they're not just like, oh, hey, by the way, it's, because there was rumors saying it was going to be Warner Brothers and it's going to be Looney Tunes or something, and it's like, guys, chill, okay? So that's really cool. So and I'm excited that Sally's doing it, because yes, Sally does do a crazy good job. So I can't wait to see maybe even at IAPA they might have like something showing off of maybe one of the cars or one of the rooms or something that they're going to show off or something.
Oh, I would bet good money on that.
Yeah.
I think when you do what's the right word? If you a redo of a classic attraction that many people love, you got to do it right. You can't tarnish the reputation or the memories of the original by half-assing the new version. And it seems like not only are they not half-assing it, they're going above and beyond and making it better than it ever was or even could be. So I'm very, 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 very excited for it. And like you said, Karsten, shout out to Kings Island for actually listening to their fans. Like, I can almost guarantee this was not something that they ever really had on their radar until a few years ago, when people were like, hey, bringing back the Phantom Theater ride would be super cool. And Kings Island's like, yeah, you know what? Sure, let's work on that.
And the thing is maybe, I mean, not to say, but maybe it was kind of like a little bit of a budget cut per se, like Six Flags as a whole. And so maybe they were like, you know what, we could probably do this project, and then it'll be a lot cheaper instead of buying, maybe, because I know everyone's like, when's the next coaster going to be there, kind of, so I mean, this could have been like 5 million instead of 25 to 30 million, because I know that Six Flags themselves said that they were cutting back a little bit on the capital expenditures this coming and this season, and then also the following season and stuff. But I mean, it's not going to be cheap, but it'll be nice to see that ride complete and back to full
and working properly.
No, for sure. But Kyle, do you have anything else to add before we move on?
Nope, let's move on.
All right. Well, speaking of moving on, Evan, I know I can hear the growl in your tummy.
Yeah.
There was an announcement from Cedar Point today.
I really need to stop going to Halloween Horror Nights the weekend that I do every year, because then I miss Happy Friar's Fresh Cut Fries Festival. And
I'm finally going to be able to do it. I'm finally going to be able to do it again.
Yeah, you'll actually be able to do it this year, since you're going to Horror Nights a week later than me this time around. But you'll just have to tell me how everything is. But that being said, I am the food guy, so I get to talk about this. And we'll be quick, because we do want to get into Halloween Horror Nights, and that really is what this week's show is about. The weekend right after Labor Day, which was always kind of been like a meh transition weekend from the summer season into the Halloween season, Cedar Point has recently, in the last few years, started doing Happy Friar's Fresh Cut Fries Fest to kind of give that weekend some kind of extra, attention on it, and make it worth people's while to go out to the park. And I don't know if it's the Fry Festival bringing people in, but it definitely isn't as empty as it always had been when I was growing up. So anyways, this year they're doing 4 specialty fresh cut fries, and they made the announcements on what they are today. So we got Phantom Theater and French fries announced today. Hell of an announcement season this year. So I'll read the little press release that Cedar Point posted, and then let's see, does it actually go through what every French fry is? Yeah, it does.
Yep.
Cool. Then we will move on to Halloween Hornets. The time to celebrate Cedar Point's famous Midway Munchie is back with Happy Friar's Fresh Cut Fries Fest, September 5th through September 7th. The event features 4 limited-time recipes available at both in-park locations serving the savory spuds. A staple since 1942, Cedar Point's original fresh-cut fries have remained a signature can't-miss food item while visiting the park. At the newly remodeled Happy Friar near Gemini, guests can sink their teeth into Chipotle chicken fresh-cut fries with shredded smoked Chipotle chicken, Chipotle seasoning, white queso cheese, and jalapenos. I'm just going to stop right now and say that is the one I'm most bummed that I'm missing. That sounds phenomenal. Plus, Smokehouse fresh cut fries with smoked pulled pork, house-made barbecue sauce, and green onions. Over at Hot Potato near Raptor, culinary choices include Supreme Pizza fresh cut fries. So, shove it, Universal. We got pizza fries too. With diced pepperoni, tomato sauce, mozzarella cheese, mushrooms, peppers, and onions. Plus cheeseburger fresh cut fries with sloppy Joe ground beef, cheddar cheese sauce, diced pickles, red onion, and diced tomatoes. The 4 limited time flavors join traditional all season favorites like buffalo, garlic parm, original, and chili and cheese fresh cut fries. Backed by popular demand and all weekend, guests can meet Happy Friar, the lovable fry con of the Happy Friar fresh cut fries stand. Happy Friar will be available each day for a selfie or a treasured family photo at the same location bearing his name, which is the one by Gemini, from 12 to 2 and 4 to 6 p.m. So yeah, we got really good French fry options this year. Like I kind of poked fun at Universal. We got pizza fries up here, but they're probably going to be way better because pizza fries are so overrated. Anyways, yeah, Carson, you're going to tell us all about these because obviously
I'm going to have to try. I don't know if I'll be able to try all of them.
Hey, you've got 3 days to do it, bud.
I know, but the thing is like that's a lot of fry.
Well, bring some friends, do some sampling. You know, we did that a couple years ago. You and I sampled together all 4 of them.
That is true. Maybe I can pull some. Maybe I can get Justin out there and he'll be like, I don't want to try any of those fries, but I'll just get the plain ones. I'm like, no, totally, you have to try.
That's totally something he would do.
Right. I do have to say, I'm really excited for. I know that you said that you were excited for the smoked
chicken one.
Yeah, that one. I'm actually really excited to try like the pizza ones because I'm a huge sucker for mushrooms. And so if anybody wants to see the park actually posted pictures of like what they're supposed to look like. So you go to cedarpoint.com/events and then you can click on the fry event, Happy Friar's Fresh Cut Fry Fest, and you can check out and see what the actual pictures are and what the fries will look like. But I'm pretty excited about the deconstructed cheeseburger one. I think that'll be really cool. And then obviously the Supreme Pizza because it's got mushrooms and stuff on it. But I think maybe the Smokehouse one might be pretty good with the pulled pork. I think
every year there's been one that's like, yeah, that one won't be that good. Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking with that. But this year it's like, yeah, all 4 of these are going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, so I'm curious. It's nice to, Happy Friar, the one in front of Gemini and stuff it's a brand new building and from last year and stuff and everything. So it'll be really cool to see how everything, is handled and goes out and everything. I
still haven't eaten there yet.
I have.
I guess this would have been the perfect opportunity, but just had to go to Universal.
Right. But yeah. So speaking of Universal, Kyle.
Yep.
You want to talk a little bit about? I know Halloween Horror Nights opens. I think this is getting released on Saturday, so it's already open.
It opened yesterday.
It opens last night.
Yeah. But Kyle, I know you're jazzed. I know a lot of people were asking, like, dude, what's Kyle's like top 10 going to be? I'm like, I have no idea. I'm not even giving a top 10 because I'm just going to do like a top 5 because you guys can do a top 10. But
I took Kyle's lead from a few years ago, and I have a hype list ready to go that I work on all year while they make announcements.
Jeez.
I have become obsessed.
You go first then.
Yeah.
Me?
Evan,
okay.
Yeah. Go.
Kyle, I thought you were the one that really got,
I'm
down
pumped.
And dirty.
I am pumped, but I want to hear what you're excited for.
Okay. All right. Well,
and then
I wasn't ready. I thought you were going to go first. Let me find it. There we go.
Talk a little bit about, I guess, the house and then why it's
I'll
your
start
thing.
from the bottom and give like a little like blurb about the
Yep.
houses and just so people aren't completely lost.
Yeah.
So I'm starting from the bottom. My least hyped house is the Horrors of Wyatt 6. For those that don't know, Wyatt 6 is some sort of like troop group, whatever, in WWE wrestling.
I'll take the lead on this.
You know about wrestling, so you should talk about them.
But it's a faction in WWE. It was with Bray Wyatt. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. But anyway, he came up with this really creepy character called the Fiend, and he has like a bunch of characters along with him. I don't remember the characters' names off the top of my head, but there's like a bunny, and then there's Sister Abigail, so on and so forth. But it'll be really cool. I'm jazzed about this.
Aren't they like backwoods, like redneck? Well, not
kind of like
not the wrong right word, but
a little bit
like moonshiners, kind
of something like that. Yeah,
I'm not into WWE.
He got the blessing like the one time, like when Bray Wyatt was alive and stuff, like he had an interaction with like the Undertaker and stuff, and it looked like it was like the passing of the torch. And then obviously a year later, I think he passed away. Unfortunately, he was pretty young too. But yeah, so he had a lot of crazy like masks and just things of like, you know,
that group is very
the fun
like,
house
and
and
a lot of showmanship to them, don't they?
Yeah, so it'll be really cool with like Uncle Howie and everything, because now Bray actually in real life, I believe unless I'm like wrong, Bo Dallas is Uncle Howie, and that's actually his brother in real life, and he's portraying Uncle Howie and kind of like keeping up the legacy of his brother and everything. So, but anyway, I'm excited about it because, you know, it's the first WWE house, and it'll be interesting to see all the fanfare with whatever's going on. But yeah.
This definitely seems like something that you're either really into WWE and you're really pumped for this house, or you know nothing about WWE and you couldn't be less excited for this house. So no disrespect, and I'm sure every single house this year is going to be phenomenal. I really mean that, but this is definitely at the bottom of the list for me. Just because, like I said, not in the WWE. I know nothing about WWE, but I have an open mind. Next up, number 9 is Grave of Flesh, which is one of their original content houses. Kind of just gives like basically zombie vibes. Nothing super like unique or different as far as storyline goes. So we'll see about that one. I'm just kind of, I haven't heard great things from like team member previews, so I'm just kind of like, meh.
You said which one was that one?
Grave of Flesh.
Okay. They actually, if anyone listens to like Universal podcast, they actually had kind of like a preview and like a little play or something that of like kind of shows off like what's going on in that. It actually sounded pretty cool, but yeah.
Even the worst house at Universal is going to be better than 99% of haunted houses you get at theme parks. So,
yeah.
Next up, I got Hatchet and Chains Demon Bounty Hunters. That's exactly what it sounds like. It's going to kind of have like a Wild West vibe, but there's going to be obviously spooky demon stuff. If anybody paid attention last year, there was a haunted house named Slaughter Cinema 2, which basically they make up a bunch of fake horror movies, and the haunted houses, you're just kind of going through scenes of each horror movie that they make up. Hatchet and Chains Demon Bounty Hunters was one of those movies last year. So then this year they took it and expanded it to a full haunted house. So that's cool, but next up I got Fallout, which is themed to the television show Fallout that was on Amazon Prime, I believe. I'm only 2 episodes through it right now. I'll finish it before I go next week, but this is where I'm like starting to get really excited, I think.
Okay.
Because so far I'm really enjoying the show, and like I said, I'm only 2 episodes in out of 8, and it just seems like this one's going to have a lot of capability for super cool scenery and set pieces. Next up, I have Dolls Let's Play Dead. Again, this is going to be, a creepy kid with their creepy dolls. I am personally horrified of dolls. Like if I actually have a true phobia, it is that. So yeah, this one's gonna definitely, if not my favorite, like it might not overall be one of my favorites, but for scare factor and creepiness factor, I'm sure it'll be one at the top of the list.
This kind of reminds me of the candy one last year for some reason. I don't know why, but
Mr. Sweets.
yeah,
Kyle really liked Mr. Sweets.
that was a good one.
Yeah, I need
right.
to look back, but I'm almost certain that finished the year as my favorite house.
I'd be surprised if it didn't, because pretty much all through the event, I remember you raving about it.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
All right, top 5. Terrifier. If you don't know, Terrifier is like the new popular, very popular slasher film series. They've come out with 3 of them. Slashers aren't my thing, and Terrifiers, yeah. Art the Clown is a messed up dude. This house is going to be gross. It is going to be smelly. It is going to be bloody. It is going to be wet. There is a wet path and a dry path at the end of the house, and I've heard that the wet path is going to soak you. And honestly, if I don't get soaked by the Orlando rains, I really don't want to get soaked in general. So I bought little foot ponchos, so at least my socks won't get wet. I'm dead serious.
Oh my God.
Because wet feet are the worst thing ever, and that's pretty much the only thing keeping this from being higher on the list.
Fair.
Next up is Jason Universe, which, again, another IP house. If you're familiar with the Jason movies, going back to the 80s, this haunted house is, I think, a culmination of every version of Jason, and I've heard it's like one of the scariest houses they've ever done. If you were afraid in Insidious house last year, which was very intense, especially that final room, it's apparently that, but just ramped up to 11. So I'm very interested in this. I was a little bummed it's not in one of the big sound stages with that, so it won't have a big set, and there won't be as much set design. But if it's really, 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 really scary, and there's a lot of jump scares and a lot of good jump scares, then I'm very intrigued and optimistic. Top 3, Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm sure everybody knows what Five Nights at Freddy's is. At first it was a video game series that was mostly mobile based, if not all mobile based, and then they made a movie within the last few years. The haunted house is based off of the movie. I, for one, thought the movie sucked, but the animatronics will be super cool, and I think this will just be a really fun house to go through, if not super scary. I don't think it'll be scary at all, but I think it'll just be a lot of fun. Second is El Artista, A Spanish Haunting. This one only jumped up to 2 like within the since team member previews, because I started reading and hearing a lot about how good this house is. I've heard people say this is one of the best houses, if not the best house they've ever made. Of course, this is just team member previews, and people are, kind of probably brown nosing a little bit, but I guess there's a really deep story with this that Universal posted a podcast for, and a pretty long write-up too. And I guess there's somehow this El Artista story meshes with the entire event this year. I guess the story is pretty, in a nutshell, the story of the house is tortured, like, artist dude finds this mansion on a hill. He starts doing his art and it comes alive and it's evil, and but people are just raving about this house from what I've heard so far. And then my number 1 most hype is Gulkin, Monsters of the North. This seems like it's going to be kind of like a Vikings, out in the cold. I think it's Universal describes it as Nordic. I've been a huge fan of houses that really use the quote unquote outdoors to their advantage. So that, like, Yeti Campground Kills in 2023 was one of my favorites. A Quiet Place last year really did good about using, like, making you feel like you're outdoors in an open area. So this really sounds like it's going to give that really cool vibe. And also the vibe that I missed in Dead Man's Pier in 2022 that I know Kyle was a big fan of, and everybody I've heard was a huge fan of.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited and hoping that this will be a really good scenic masterpiece. And it sounds like a cool story too, and it sounds like it's pretty creepy. So that is my very quick rundown ding of my hyped houses. Let's hear it from you guys.
Do you want me to go, Kyle, or you want?
You're just gonna do.
I'll do 10. I'll go quick though. I'm not gonna be like as detailed as
go
Evan.
for it.
Yeah, now we know what the houses are, so you guys can just
go for it.
All right. So my from going like last to first, just like how Evan did. My last one is actually gonna be that El
Artista.
Yeah, a Spanish haunting. That's going to be number 10 for me. I kind of think it's almost like, it seems like every year they kind of like have like some kind of theme like that. And it
my
always
Screw last year was horrible. So.
It just seems like, I don't know, that it just seems like every single year it just kind of doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't kick the ball for me down the court. So that's what I was thinking.
Karsten, also, didn't that Blood Moon one? I mean, I guess that's not really like a Spanish one, but it gives me like similar vibes. Like I feel like it's going to be similar to Blood Moon from when was
I think Monsters of the North I feel like might be feely like more Blood Moon, at least to me. I'm like, ooh, cuz
Blood Moon was really good too.
I think the number 9 is going to be the Hatchet and the Chains, the Demon Bounty Hunters.
Yeah.
I just think it's like, I don't know. I'm just not super jazzed about it. I'm curious to see like how everything goes and what kind of set designs and things and everything like that they've got going on there. But I think that's going to sit up number 9, at least for me. Number 8 is going to be the Grave of the Flash, of the Flesh. Sorry.
The Grave of the Flash.
Of the Flash, yeah. Again, I'm not super jazzed about it. I think it has some potential. I think it might maybe be almost not Yeti feely, but maybe something like when it was what was it, the goodness
Steel?
the what was it?
Darkest Steel, maybe? Is that what you're going for?
Is something either Darkest Steel or the one where it was that roller coaster? I can't remember.
That might predate me.
That you loved it, Evan. You bought a poster and the whole 9 yards.
Oh, Dueling Dragons. Duh.
Yeah.
I love Dueling Dragons.
So that kind of like, I was like, that's the kind of thing I was thinking. But yeah, so that's going to be, I believe, number 8. Number 7 is going to be the Monsters of the North. I think that's almost it kind of gives me like a Yeti feel to it as well. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I was like, okay, maybe they're.
I really like Yeti, so that's why I'm hyped for it. You seem like you were a little more meh on Yeti.
Yeah. Fallout, I haven't seen it. Hopefully I'll be able to squeeze in whatever. That'll be number 6 is going to be Fallout. I'm curious to see like what they kind of do. But yeah, that's going to be number 6. Number 5 is going to be the Jason universe. I'm kind of Jasoned out. I feel like every single year they almost have like a Jason house. And I mean, yeah, Halloween is really cool with, the Chainsaw Massacre and all that fun stuff and whatever. It'll be interesting to see what they bring into that house and whatever. But yeah, that's going to be number 5. Number 4 is going to be the, let's see. Number 4 is actually going to be Five Nights at Freddy. Okay. I'm curious to see. I need to see that movie, and then I'm curious to see like what they're going to do with it. I feel like if they did one of the shortcuts of one of the IPs, maybe Five Nights at Freddy might be maybe one of the shortcuts ones that they've, they maybe didn't spend as much time in it. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just kind of like what I'm thinking. Number 4 is going to be the horror of number 3. Okay, I see. Yeah, I'm bad with numbers.
Well, you said Five Nights was number 4, so I think this is number 3.
Is going to be the horrors of the Wyatt 6. I think and I kind of feel like that might either go higher or has got an opportunity to go way lower. Just
I
depends
feel like
on,
that's just one like where everybody's either gonna really love it or really hate it. Just
right.
depends on your
I mean,
fandom.
well, it depends because, like, like I said, I know I watch that, not religiously, but I know of it and everything. So it'll be interesting to see like what they did and how they interacted and created and everything with everything like that. And then I was gonna say number two, I would assume that's two, is gonna be the dolls. I'm so excited to check
Okay.
out the dolls Let's Play Dead. I'm just thinking of like Happy Jack's, the haunted
Happy
house
Jack's Toy Factory.
yeah,
Yeah.
at Cedar Point with all the dolls and everything. It was just kind of creepy and stuff. Whenever dude, there is a big expectation and in my head of like, oh my gosh, this could be possibly number one, maybe, I don't know, but like dolls, I mean, it'll be really cool to see what they did with like the dolls and stuff and everything in there. And the number one is gonna be Terrifier. Holy crap, man.
It's
I
gonna be
don't
something.
I don't know if Kyle, and quote me if I'm wrong, I don't think they've ever sold rain ponchos out of
No.
before a haunted house.
No.
Because they're expecting. So if anyone is like, well, why is there a wet and a dry side? So they have where you like walk through the haunted house, and if someone's getting stabbed, you kind of feel like a spritz on your arm or a spritz on your face or something, and to motion like someone just got stabbed, someone just died. Well,
I
there's
remember getting splashed last year from somebody puking, quote unquote, puking in Slaughter Cinema.
yeah. So this is supposed to be obviously, like, if you've seen any of the Terrifier movies,
They be bloody.
they're very, 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 very bloody, to where pretty much the whole like spritz thing is out of the window. And literally it's like, okay, full on 100%, let's go. So as soon as like someone just dies like a crazy death or whatever, you're just gonna get soaked. And they're selling rain ponchos right outside the haunted house, which is, I'm super, super excited. I hope that they did wonders on this house, and I cannot I feel like that's probably going to be the most popular one, especially with all the hype of like how much you're, quote unquote, you're going to get wet. And like supposedly there's going to be some interactivity in the houses where you'll be able to like push buttons or push different things and make things happen in the house too.
You'll be happy to know that Dolls, your second most hyped, also has those.
Yes. Oh, I love that. But yeah, so that's my list, and I can't wait to I'm gonna have to listen to this episode to remember my order. Because I didn't write it down and I was just going by the seat of my pants. But honestly, listening to you, and then my brain kind of just flows through it. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, Kyle, what is your hype list, my friend? Because everyone, like I said, man, you're like the horror guy.
So I feel like I have to give this disclaimer every year when I read my my rankings, because normally my rankings are wildly different than you two. And that's because that I don't really, it's not that I don't like the IP houses, but I think the original houses are always way better. This year, Evan, we actually share a rank. One of them is the same. And it's one of the top ones too.
Oh.
And I don't think that's ever happened before.
No, you and I, especially you and I, are usually like vastly different.
I know. I was gonna jump right in when you said the one I was thinking of. But I was like, yeah, I'll just wait till later. But yeah, I don't think me and you have ever agreed. But preseason
Like,
at least this
not
year.
at all.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna start. Number 10 is Jason. I'm with Carson on this one. It actually has been a while since there's been a Jason house, but I'm Jasoned out at this point.
See, I've never had a Jason house because this will only be my third year, so that's why I'm just like, yeah, Jason. This is really cool.
Am, I used to. This one could go either way for me. I used to feel this way about the Halloween, the Michael Myers houses.
Yeah.
But the last Halloween house that they did in 2022 was one of my favorite houses that year. It was great. So
yeah,
we'll see. This one could go either way. Number 9 could also go either way, and that is the Horrors of Wyatt 6. I don't know a whole lot about it, but it seems like something that I could be into. We'll see. Number 8 is when I'm gonna start getting the crowd murmurs and the people shaking their fists. Number 8 is Fallout.
Okay.
Evan, like you, I'm about 4 episodes in, and of the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be cool, but I don't know, I feel like when Universal works with other people they have to make happy, they don't get to have as much fun. So
That's fair. I
Okay.
absolutely will agree with that.
Yeah.
7 for me is Grave of the Flesh.
Okay.
I'm going into that one with an open mind.
It
And
just doesn't seem inspired, I guess. Is that the right term? It just seems
I think so.
meh. Like it's not a crazy original idea.
Number 6 is, this one also might get some crowd murmurs. 6 is Terrifier.
Oh, wow.
You broke Karsten's heart.
Yeah, I've never seen the movies.
I mean,
Oh, you need to see the movie, at least one of
at
the
least you
movies.
watch the first one.
Yeah. I've never seen the movies, so I don't have a whole lot to go off of, but I really hate that Art the Clown. Oh my god, I think he's so creepy.
Well, it is Halloween Horror Nights, my friend.
Yeah. We'll see.
You're like, I don't care.
You're like, there's only one clown and it's Jack the Clown, damn it.
Yeah. So another thing I've also done is I know this is not the way I should do this, but the IPs that I'm not familiar with, I always go through the house first, and then like on the weekend of week 1, then I watch whatever it is, and then I go back through it the next weekend just to see
Okay.
if it's any better.
Yeah.
And also keep in mind too, I've been doing these lists since I think 10 years now, because my first time was 2015.
Mine as well. Yeah.
And everything on this list, number 1 might turn into 10 might turn into 1. Everything might shuffle in between.
Yep. Last year, Triplets of Terror was at the bottom, and actually the first year, Yeti was at the bottom for me, and those both ended up being top 3 houses to me.
These preseason lists mean nothing, but all right. So that was 6 was Terrifier. Number 5 for me is El Artista, A Spanish Haunting.
Okay.
I thought I was gonna have that one a little bit higher, but I really don't. The one thing that I'm really, really excited for is the lead designer of this house. I forget his name, but he's the designer who led Dead Man's Pier, Winter's Wake back in 2022.
Oh yeah.
And that was my favorite house that year.
That was a good one. I do remember. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if he's leading, then I have faith.
Okay.
Which, Evan, that might go back to your point of everyone in the HHN community loves it. Mm-hmm. Everybody always loves his houses.
I think his name's like Ramon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's people are saying it's a very pretty house. That's what I keep hearing.
All right. Number 4 for me is Hatchet and Chains, Demon Bounty Hunters. I'm intrigued. I don't think that's the movie the screen that I would have made the poster, or the poster I would have made a house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the one I would have went with, but I'm interested to see how they do it.
Okay.
Number 3 for me is Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay.
I actually, as much as I just got done saying I hate IPs, I am excited for this one.
That's also my number 3.
Yeah. So
I was saying, you were excited, I think last year. You're like, oh, I hope they get the Five Nights at Freddy's, and they didn't get it. And you're like, dang it. And
I know.
Obviously this year, so.
I know. Evan, this will tell you which one we share. My number 2 is Dolls Let's Play Dead.
Ooh, okay. I like that though. Yeah.
And you share that with Karsten.
Yeah. I know somebody who did who was invited to one of the Unmasking the Horror tours.
Okay.
And I didn't see any pictures, but just from what they were telling me, I think Dolls Let's Play Dead is going to surprise a lot of people. Put it that way.
Oh man.
And then number 1, the house that we share, is Gulkin, Monsters in the North.
All right.
I loved the Yeti house they did in 2022. No,
Yeah.
that was what, 23?
23.
23. I loved the Yeti house, the Terror of the Yukon that they did in 2019. And that was like Snow Yeti, Canadian Snow Yeti.
Yes.
Kind of like you said, Evan, I'm a fan of the houses that use an environment.
Yes. That's I couldn't figure out how to explain it. Yes. That.
Just as I'm racking my brain of like some of my favorite houses, don't even remember what it was called, but it was over in one of the Sprung tents. It's where Slaughter Cinema was last year. Like 5 years ago, they had like a submarine house over there. That was my favorite one that year. The Carnival Graveyard, like anything that uses. I forgot it already.
The environment.
Yeah, anything that uses its environment, I'm a big fan of, and I think this is going to be a good one.
So you and I share two of our top three. Number
Yes.
1 and number 3 are the same.
Correct, which is really weird, and
Yeah,
I am
like-
sure it will not stay this way. But
No,
for now,
but
we're
like
on.
I'm just thinking back, like last year, you loved Mr. Sweets. I did not like Mr. Sweets at all. 2023, you loved what was it? Universal Monsters.
Oh
Unmasked.
my God! Yeah,
Is that what it was called? Unmasked. I only went through it once. I only had one night. I had a terrible run, but that house was just not good to me.
God,
but it used its environment really well.
That was the last year I had All Season Express, or that I've been able to get All Season Express because I just can't get it these days. Oh my God, I would always make that my last house the night before I went home. Oh, I cried when I went through it the last time on closing night. I was like, I loved that house so much.
Dude, I think I remember because I think we went through it like, I don't know. I stayed out with you after everyone like went to bed, and I think we went through it like a few times. You're like, you want to do it again? I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's crazy. It's fall, Evan.
Well, normally I'd be sitting here saying, no, it's not, Carson. It is August 28th, but I am looking outside. It is a dreary, crappy night. It's like 60 degrees out.
Yep.
And Halloween Horror Night starts, well, as we record tomorrow, but as y'all listen to this yesterday.
Yep.
So,
and
you know what? It's the most wonderful time of year.
The season's coming to an end, my friend. At least we're up here, up north, sadly. But we do actually have things to look forward to. Crazy night rides at Cedar Point, at midnight.
Not sweating our asses off walking around the park.
Yeah. And walking around with a nice beverage or something like that, a nice adult beverage and whatever, I am kind of sad they're not going to have the blinky cups that looks like this year at Halloween Horror Nights.
They do not blink anymore. No blinky.
Yeah. So those were cool. I liked it. It was something different. I'm curious to see what Cedar Point's going to roll out with their food team.
Yeah, they always do a lot of extra food and stuff for. Maybe, who knows? That might have been announced and nobody even remember we were talking about Boardwalk Nights and they just dropped a bunch of the food information.
And they're like, oh, hey, boop, and just like, oh, okay. Yeah. That didn't even know that,
Yeah. I don't see anything about food yet. They just say, yeah, there's going to be some extra food.
And then also, I don't think we even said anything about this, and maybe we will, maybe, I don't know, the next episode and stuff when we get more into, like Halloween weekends and stuff, whatever. But, they also have the kid-friendly, the Fall Fun Fest, going on during the day.
They do a lot for that.
They do a ton of stuff. There's a lot of family activities. There's trick-or-treating. It's really cool too, because I remember last year, I don't know if they're gonna have the same this year, but they had where they had old haunted houses that the themes of the haunted houses that used to be back in the day, like Happy Jack Toy Factory, and it would hit the doorbell and stuff when you would ring to quote unquote trick or treat.
That was fun.
And you would hear the random old sounds from the different haunted houses that they used to have and whatever. So that was really cool. And yeah, we can talk a little bit more about this next episode, I'm sure, with all the family fun attractions that they've got going on, and maybe they're going to have a media day and stuff, and so maybe Evan and I will be able to explore and find out what's new, and maybe we'll get free Snickers or something with it since it's presented by Snickers.
Oh, I better get free M&Ms when I ride Corkscrew.
All right. Hey, you know what? I mean, we haven't ridden Corkscrew since
Yeah,
that
we
went
all
up.
know that they don't do that.
So maybe everyone's missing out right now. Everyone's like, it's a hidden secret where it's like, oh, everybody keep it down low, but you get M&Ms every single time you ride Corkscrew.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I am pretty jazzed up about The Conjuring too. I'm gonna definitely do that a few times since I've got the haunted attractions pass. That'll be really cool to check that out and see what's what kind of thing and how maybe they're dipping them toe in it, and then next year the big full, hey, by the way, we've got 5 different IP houses or something and 2 original. I don't know. I'm just thinking outside, but it'll be interesting to see. Do you guys have anything else to add, or should we should we end it? Evan, you're going next week, right?
Yeah, so we're definitely off next week.
Yeah, definitely off next week, and then the following week we'll be back, and Evan will talk about his trip, and then we'll probably talk a little bit about more Halloween stuff.
I'll get on here and talk about how good Monsters Unchained is again for another 20 minutes because we are also going to Epic Universe again. My God, I love Universal. I can't wait. Can't wait.
And maybe you can go check out SeaWorld or something, right?
Well, no, because I'm not doing a rental car this year. So.
Oh, all right. Well, Kyle's a nice rental car. Just build it.
Right.
Give him a few bucks and maybe some candy or maybe an express pass or something. And
I actually was talking to Jared the other day, and I probably will be with you one of the nights that you were at HHN. I can't remember.
Yeah, for sure.
One.
Yep.
But
I hope you join me too, Kyle. I hope I get a Kyle appearance.
Yeah, I'll be there.
if he buys a pass. If he buys a pass.
Going back to SeaWorld, though, I spent too much money on Universal.
Here's the deal. I'm going to buy a pass, right? And it's just I do this every year now because I sit around and I'm like, well, I wonder if I wait, if maybe like the night before they'll open up Express and I can get season-long Express again. And then it always ends up I'm ready to accept defeat and just go buy my regular pass. And then they're like, oops, opening night sold out. It happened to me last year. Last year I ended up calling and I got really lucky and they ended up selling me a pass with opening night, although I don't think they were supposed to. So I don't know if I'm going to get as lucky this year.
Did you say that you were the guy from the Rundown on Fun podcast? And
I should. I don't know. It was like this really sweet old lady. It was like 10 o'clock at night. I don't know if she was about to get off work or what. But she's like, well, normally we see the same inventory that you do online, but let's go ahead and check. And she pulled it up and she's like, oh, it actually says it's available. And then I like refreshed and I was looking at it and I was like, no, it doesn't, but whatever. So I'm almost wondering if maybe I try the same thing this year. But
I mean, doesn't work.
If you've heard of Disney magic, but what about that Universal magic?
If it doesn't
Pixie
work,
does.
I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick either Friday or Sunday to go. And I'm just going to buy a one-night ticket. And then at the end of the night, I will upgrade my ticket to the pass that I want, the Frequent Fear Plus. And then I'll just have to pick the next available night to activate it, to start it. So that should be like, let's say I end up going tomorrow. When I leave tomorrow night, I'll be like, hey, I want to get a Frequent Fear Pass and go ahead and turn it on Wednesday, September 3rd.
Yeah, that's the night that I get there.
Yeah. And Evan, that's the night I was planning on going, but because more than likely that's probably the night that my pass is going to turn on and I'm going to have to go and activate it.
Well, I could look right now and see what days are available.
I'm looking at it right now. It's the 3rd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's the next day available?
Yeah. Hey, by the way, though, you should go look and message last updated at 12:44 p.m. The following products are sold out.
I got my stuff, so I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. I've got mine as well.
Y'all can stop listening. We're just shooting.
This is like this page is like glitching out from the day that they first went on sale. It's telling me the following products are sold out: Frequent Fear Pass, Frequent Fear Plus. This is all
their
with
website's
Express.
been weird lately. Like, I had issues with Epic Universe tickets too.
See, that's why I'm just hoping that maybe I'll just get really lucky, and
Maybe someone like, I don't know, canceled or something, or canceled, or didn't. I don't know,
Yeah.
I think you know what? You got some good juju. You got the right Top Full 2, you got the right Simon's Curse.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get opening night of Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. We'll see.
In the monsoon.
Yeah.
In the monsoon.
That's the other reason that I'm not like super gung ho about trying to figure this out, was because like if it's raining as much as they say it's gonna rain, I don't know if I want to go. Like, I'll just wait until.
Yeah, it'll be
Wednesday.
like when we were at on the Maid of the Mist or whatever. We're like, hey, we're super dry because we put the poncho on, and Kyle's like super dry up front, and then on below he's like, oh, it doesn't, my poncho only, or my rain jacket only just does my chest, and it doesn't cover my shorts or anything. I'm soaked down all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
all right,
alrighty, sir.
Let's end it. That's honestly, that's all I have. We'll take next week off and talk to you the weekend after.
Yep, the last like 10 minutes have probably actually been the end of the show, but yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for Horror Nights and Epic Universe and all the fun stuff. See you in a couple weeks.
And I mean, it's like a little bonus episode or something like that. So we definitely appreciate you guys listening. Make sure you rate us and follow us and tell people to listen to us. Really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
In to the Rundown on Fun. Don't forget to follow us on social media for all the latest updates from Six Flags Entertainment. And remember, always be kind to your ride operators. See you soon.